Right, so today I'm going to do an album review of James Blunt Back to Bedlam 20th Anniversary Edition. So, yeah, I'm specifically talking about the 20th Anniversary Edition and mainly, comparing it to the original release. In fact, here's one I have here. Here's another two I have here. We'll get onto that in a minute. But, yeah, is it worth, getting it? And that if you have, this is an original version, and that of the album. Is it worth it if you have the original version? So, obviously, it has the 10 remastered tracks and that, which are available in 24 bits. So, yeah, if you want to go all out on it, you can get them as FLAC files as 24 bits, but that is only for the main album itself, not for the demos and early live performances. They're only available as 16-bit FLAC files, so yeah. Now, as for the remastered versions, do they sound better than the originals? Well, you have to really do an A-B comparison on that between the two of them, because a good remaster, should, sound better on that, or certainly shouldn't sound worse. And I can safely say, after listening to the remastered versions of these tracks several times, that none of them sound worse, and that they either sound pretty much exactly the same, at least to my ear. I'm not an audiophile, or they sound a little bit wider scope, and that they do sound, the best way to describe it is a slightly wider sound scope and slightly better, particularly on certain tracks like High and Wise Men and that. I noticed, there was a little bit more separation, I guess, in the instrumentals, and it sounded, more vast, I guess. It's really difficult to describe it, really. Something here. Obviously, I can't play the audio because, well, this is a YouTube video. I'd get copyright for it immediately. So, yeah. But obviously, it's not really worth it just for that because, again, I really got to do an A-B comparison to compare the two of them. The main thing with them is it worth it for that bonus disc? So, on that bonus disc, you get demos and early performances on there. So, out of the demos and that we get on there, we obviously get demos and that for High, Billy, No Bravery and that. A lot of these demos and that are hard to come by these days, which again I'll get on to in a minute, and some of them and that I don't think are being released before. I don't think No Bravery is being released before as a demo. Well, I could be wrong about that, but we've also got Sugar Coated, which was previously called a demo, now it's called Bonus B-Side for some reason. Yeah, dunno. But we also get Standing All Alone, Close Your Eyes, Dancing Days, which they're fine. They're fine and that. To be honest, I think Sugar Coated is probably like the best of, the quote-unquote unreleased tracks. But we also get early performances like Goodbye My Lover, So Long, Jimmy and Cry on there. Though, here's the thing that I get into it, in that this is meant to be like a 20th anniversary edition. And initially, when it went up on James Blunt's website, all of these were listed as demos. But they're not. Most of them are demos, but some of them are early performances. Which basically means, for example, we do not have the demo for Cry and Goodbye My Lover. And you might be thinking, oh well, maybe there wasn't, demos like that. Maybe there was only studio album versions of those. Well, this is where this version of the album comes into play. Because this one was a US, I think it was Target exclusive. This is a 2-disc edition. Which, on the second disc, it has Monkey on My Shoulders EP. And on this EP, it has the demo for Cry. Yeah, the demo. And it also has the demo for Goodbye My Lover, as well as Sugar Coated and Butterfly, as well as High. So yeah, those demos exist, and they're on this long out of print, James Blunt CD. In fact, if you look at the back of it, they're not even listed on the back. yeah, the only way you can actually find the track listings for this are on the CD itself, which, yeah, really weird that they don't have the track listings and that on the back for that CD. But yeah, basically, if you want the demos for those two songs, then you're going to have to try and, track one of these down, which is a bit difficult because, again, here's 3 different versions of the album, and they all look exactly the same. This one is different. This is a French-only release, which has a bonus DVD, which is Live in Paris. Which, again, could have had some more live tracks, audio and that from this, because, again, this is not here. Obviously, there's the Bedlam sessions and that, which, if you do have that CD, a bonus track on there is you get the demo version of You're Beautiful on there. So, yeah, as a 20th anniversary edition, I would have liked there to, have been more on there. It kind of feels like, almost slightly less than the bare minimum, because I would hope that it would include, all of the demos at least on there, like it initially stated it was going to, but it doesn't. It's an hour and 31 minutes and 26 seconds across 2 CDs if you buy the physical CDs, or obviously if you get it as a digital, I think it's all as one, which I have because I've got the FLAC files. I want the 24-bit ones, which is the only reason I haven't bought the CD. I do own the vinyl, and again, if you buy the vinyl, you're only getting the 10 remastered version tracks of the original album. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't have the demo, at least the demos for Cry and Goodbye My Lover, because they could have fit on that CD. Like, either one of them, either disc 1 or disc 2. Stick them on disc 2. There's plenty of space on that CD, so it wasn't, like, constraints. But yeah, I find it really weird that those aren't included on there. And it would have been nice, if we had some more early live performances and that on there. Which, yeah, it's a shame we don't have ones for High on there. We don't have ones for You're Beautiful on there. We don't have a one for Wise Men on there. 3, big singles and that of the album. 3 of the 4 singles of the album. We don't have the early performances on them out there. And the thing is, we know there are early performances that were recorded of them, because we see little snippets of them in James Blunt One Brit Wonder. So they do exist, and that's out there. But yeah, it's a shame. So, would I recommend it? Yes, I still would recommend it, but I'm just disappointed in the fact that, there isn't a definitive version and that of the album. I mean, there's little to no point in getting the original version. This is an original version. In fact, I have a couple of copies of that. But in terms of these two, this one here has the EP, Monkey on My Shoulders EP, which has the demo for Cry and Goodbye My Lover, which, again, Monkey on My Shoulders is an EP that I struggle to find digitally. I have ripped the CD. And that, and those who have Soul Seek and that will be able to get it. And same with this one as well. This has obviously the Live in Paris DVD and that on there, which I have also converted to just audio tracks as well. But yeah, as I said, like a 20th anniversary edition, you'd think would be the definitive edition and that, but yeah, there's just a few things on there that it is missing, and it is disappointing because we have other artists and that who do the, go all out with the super deluxe and that edition. Because obviously the first one that comes to mind for me is Linkin Park, where they do these insane 20th anniversary editions. Obviously we've had Hybrid Theory and Victoria last year, I think that was. And not just them, also I've got Gorillaz 20th anniversary version of their first album, which includes, the album itself remastered, B-sides, demos, live performances and that, early live performances and that from the time. So yeah, it is a little bit disappointing that this is, all we got in that for it. I still do like it, but to be honest, for me, the most exciting thing was it getting, you know, a release on vinyl, and that's because the original release on vinyl, which was came out in 2004, 2005, is ridiculously expensive these days. It's hundreds and hundreds of pounds, whereas obviously now there's an relatively inexpensive way, because records are still expensive, to actually, you know, get this album. So yeah, those are my quick thoughts and that on the album. I do recommend, obviously, if you don't have this album, obviously go for the 20th anniversary edition and that. And if you only have, say, the standard edition, this is the standard edition of this album, then I'd say obviously recommend the 20th anniversary edition. But if you're a completionist like me, who has, you know, every version of this album possible, which, yeah, then, you know, I know I'm a unique circumstance for this, who has all these different versions. I mean, this isn't all the ones I own, by the way. I own tons of versions of this album. But, yeah, it would have been nice if, say, you know, there was a 2-disc version that was like the basic one that we've got now, and maybe a 4 to 6 disc, you know, like super deluxe type edition that has live performances on there. It has the Paris live performances on there. It has all the demos and that on there. It has the Bedlam sessions both live performances, because if you do have the Bedlam sessions, the CD is not the same live performance as the DVD. A lot of people don't realise that, but yeah, the DVD is live from the BBC. And the other one on, that's the CD, that is live in Ireland. They're 2 different live performances, which is interesting. So, yeah, one's never being, you know, released just as audio, and the other one's only just being released as audio. Although, again, I've converted the live at the BBC one to audio files as well. But, yeah, there we go. Kind of mixed feelings. It was a bit waffly, but I still do love this album. It's my favourite James Blunt album, and High is not just one of my favourite. It's not just my favourite James Blunt song, but it's also one of my favourite like just songs of all time, and that in there. So yeah, I mean, if I was to literally just scroll on my phone and search for High, I would get tons. And I do mean tons of variations and that on there of versions of James Blunt's High, including live and unreleased versions. So yeah, there was an opportunity there. There is obviously one track that is on live and unreleased, that is on the 20th anniversary edition, which is the demo for Wise Men. That was the only way you could really find it beforehand. But yeah, I've waffled on enough, so there we go, people.